Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. Leading the charge under center will be their 6'5" quarterback, Carson Wentz.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
Well, that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-to-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Play action to Sproles. Wentz. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Working from the gun, Wentz. A dump off to Sproles. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. A look there at what Sproles did a week ago. 18 carries, 57 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
On play action, Wentz. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Nelson Aguilar with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. With these Thursday night games, sometimes you get those quick turnarounds. You wonder how a team's going to start. They started really well.
Everyone's always wondering, going into a Thursday night game, who has their legs, who has the overall health of a team. But mentally, if you get that early edge, the other team might think to itself, it's been a short week. We're not really ready to go. You might run them into the ground that way. That's why getting that early score means a lot.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center. Now the rookie first-rounder from Penn State, Saquon Barkley. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. That good for 19 and a first down.
Defenses always have a goal of holding a runner under 100 yards. Well, he went over 150 last week, won NFC Player of the Week award honors. And guess what? He's got a chance to do it again because of that vision he has. He sees holes that maybe don't exist.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. Could be ideal.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. That'll bring up second down.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Wentz now to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Now it's Sproles. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And once again, they go with Sproles. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll run it now. Out of the gun. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
It's important to do, especially early in the game like they have. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Wentz going to throw. And he's got the veteran here. It's Mike Wallace. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still 2nd down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They'll start out on the ground as Saquon Barkley gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. On second down, here's Barkley. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
And you remember pre-draft, there's a lot of speculation the Giants should look for their future quarterback at number 2 with a great possibility. Remember, Sam Darnold from USC was still on the board, but they passed on him to take this runner, Saquon Barkley. And this is exactly why. They think he can extend the life of Eli Manning's career and give them 1,000-yard seasons year after year.
They haven't had a 1,000-yard season since 2012. Ahmad Bradshaw did it then.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They're going to look to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with a football here as we begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, we had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play. And maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. His throw incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
This is Clement, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the 1st down. Now to be 4th and short.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And we check the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
Now back to throw. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And he'll be taken down just shy of the 40. A good pickup there at 22.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
They go play action here on first down. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A really good pickup of 28 yards. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. It doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends are like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. An incomplete pass on second down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
On the carry, here's Clement. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
The Eagles on third down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Wentz. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
And New York set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle for loss. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all. And now they're looking at third down here. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and the Eagles will have it taking over 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going. But we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. They only get 5 out of that quick slant, but that's good enough for a first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Wentz again here on 2nd and 10. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Again, it's Wentz. Bird shrugs him aside. Throwing right, and that's complete. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Brad Nortman now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. New York set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, right there on the coverage.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, two hands. Get two hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
And his throw is incomplete.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
Looking for Aguilar. It's intercepted. Picked up by Janoris Jenkins. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. Michael Bannon in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. So we've reached halftime here. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, he stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't.
And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it. And the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into, oftentimes interceptions result.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. Ertz has it left side. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Now a play fake here on first down. Flushed out right, and he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually, a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. a run. It's Clement. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Shotgun now for Wentz. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Alec Ogletree able to track him down for a loss of 13, and it'll bring up 4th down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
New York set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So 2nd and inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. To throw now on 1st down. Over the middle to Beckham. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And incomplete there. A nice hit, jars the ball free, and brings up 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Though that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. They'll run again with Clement. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. The offense on third down tonight, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're looking at third and a few inches. Now Wentz on the bootleg. And that is incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Nortman on to kick as he sends it away. Now out come the Giants. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Play action to Sproles. Wentz. Throw right side taken in by Wallace. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there, perfectly. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Nelson Aguilar, his second touchdown of the night. And the Eagles take advantage of good field position on the turnover to cash this one in.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes our score 17-0. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Again, it's Barkley. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Now Saquon Barkley, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, second down. It's the Giants with possession of the football, but needing points as we start quarter number 4. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself going.
And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40.
Yeah, baby.
They'll run again with Pumphrey. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. The tackle by Janoris Jenkins.
You can really tell right now both sides have amped up the aggressiveness. That time the offense winning the aggression battle.
And the defense was obviously aiming for the football, maybe a little bit more so than the runner himself, and that's why he was able to break through and get the gain that he did.
The Eagles on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Give him 8 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And New York set to take the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Buying time to his left, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. It's caught. Shepard. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. It is caught at the 7. And they do get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. And a nice gain at 21 yards. And Barkley will try to punch it in. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
What a game this defense has played. They're pitching a shutout, so it'd be fun to watch down the stretch to see if their defensive coordinator continues to be as aggressive as he's been all game long.
They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Paul Warlow coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt. And the Eagles defense able to hold. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone. We're thinking we're giving up 3. We just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
Time for a break. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Again, it's Pumphrey. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The Eagles on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 14. They'll run it now with Pumphrey. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here's Brad Nordman now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 43. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape, 1st and 10. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Giants on third down, as bad as you can be, 0 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. He'll look to throw. And Ingram holds it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. They'll look to throw now on first down. And he's got his man. Beckham. Touchdown, Giants. Odell Beckham, his second touchdown on the season. And the Giants are able to draw a bit closer.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
The Giants going to burn their third and final timeout as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the fourth. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. The clock cannot be stopped here. Defense can't do anything. So kneel it down, take it home.
No doubt about it. It's what you practice for in winning situations each and every week. Victory formation. Take a knee and go on into the locker room and celebrate.
Call it a victory. Wentz with a kneel down, and that will be the final act of this game.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road.